What's your favorite thing about teaching?
My favorite thing about teaching,
Yeah.
having different story each day that I can share with my husband.
Different story atau different disaster ini? Oke, selamat datang semuanya ke podcast kita yang kedua.
Yay.
We are Kartini Cita Bangsa, and our motto is instilling dreams, bridging opportunities. Nama saya Eliana, dan hari ini kami ada guest speaker, Miss Anna.
Selamat pagi, good morning.
Ya, maybe Audrey sama Faith mau introduce themselves. I'm Eliana, by the way.
Hi, my name is Audrey. I'll be one of the interviewers today. I'm in class 11 right now.
My name is Faith. Aku juga murid SMP. Waktu tadi Miss Anna itu, aku murid Miss Anna juga di middle school. Waktu middle school.
Oh ya, nama saya Anna. Saya guru dari kedua murid saya yang cantik ini. I'm teaching in Beacon Academy for middle school and senior school. I was born in Yogyakarta. I was from there. I was raised and doing my education there. And after I finished with all my education, I moved to Jakarta to pursue my career as a teacher.
Wow, cool.
Okay, tell us about like your early life. Masa kecil.
Masa kecil, I have a happy family. My parents was very supportive to their children. But because I was raised among the teachers' family, of course, my family has like a higher expectation for their children. So my father was like a government employee, and then they plot my father to in a certain area like desa. You know, like my father thought that, hey, this is not. I think if you take school here, it will not good for you. So you have such a great potential. So my father had decided to move me to Yogyakarta.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah.
So what did you want to be when you grow up? Did you always pikir untuk menjadi guru atau did you have other dreams?
My dream job is a doctor. Until now, if I have a second chance, I will take like medical studies. That was my dream job.
Jadi kenapa Miss Anna kayak pivot ke teaching?
Kenapa Miss Anna beralih ke mengajar? Because of at that time when I was graduated from my university, I have to wait for 4 months for the graduation, and then during 4 months I had nothing to do, and then my aunt who was also a teacher asking me if you want to just spend your time for 4 months to do something, earning money or and then why not, rather than I did nothing, right? So I tried to be an observer teacher in a school in Tangerang. It was fun, and then every day I have like a different story I've shared to my family. So I was enjoy that time.
Yeah,
I really enjoy.
That's nice. Jadi kenapa pertama kali mau jadi dokter?
Kenapa pertama kali jadi dokter? Sebenarnya ini sangat lucu sih. Karena Miss Anna tuh suka baca. Suatu saat Miss Anna baca tentang sebuah novel. Novel itu novel crime investigation.
Jadi
Nah, saat membaca novel itu tuh ada sebuah murder investigation yang di situ melibatkan seorang dokter. Misalnya tuh I was amazed by the ability of that doctor, because of that doctor could reveal, okay, matinya tuh kapan sih, meninggalnya kapan sih, how did they die, and then by doing something like, you know, bedah mayat atau apa gitu,
Iya, autopsi
mereka
ya.
bisa tahu apakah itu diracun, apakah itu dipukul atau di apa. Itu tuh kalau Miss Ana tuh sangat sangat amazing. Gitu.
Lucu ya, dulu I juga mau jadi forensic scientist.
Exactly.
Tapi for me because itu nonton movie Flash, nonton seri itu Sherlock Holmes.
Oh iya, Sherlock Holmes ya itu.
Ya, beda ya.
Beda-beda. Tapi itu menurut Miss Ana it's so cool ya. Karena ketika dengan seperti itu kita tuh bisa tahu segala macam, bahkan from outside of our disciplinary, like senjatanya gimana sih? Oke, kalau misalnya tuh dibunuh dengan senjata api macamnya gimana? Itu kan
Iya, it's like
exciting.
it's like you can see more like the reason behind the situation. Terus you can kind of see what happened from so little evidence gitu kan ya. Yeah.
Very cool.
Kayaknya everyone had that crime scene investigation phase there.
I got it.
Karena media itu orang kayak gitu itu keren banget kan.
Iya.
keren.
Okay, so after you end up not becoming a doctor, you ended up teaching. So when you were learning how to become a teacher, what were the challenges you faced?
At the first time, my challenges were, you have to decide, you have to make like more than one decision at the same time. You know, as a teacher, it is like a multitasking job. So we have to manage the class. We have to also how to control ourselves, how to be a detachment. Like when you feel sad, right? So somehow you have to put aside your feeling. Like like if you go inside the classroom with your bad mood, and then what happened? So I think that's the difficult part, you know.
Ya dulu. Maksudnya sekarang aku juga sering tutoring anak-anak high school, IB gitu lah. Terus ya kadang-kadang mereka itu don't get it immediately. jadi sometimes jadi frustrating gitu.
Betul. Apalagi kalau misalnya kita lagi bad mood kan, ada anak yang benar-benar nggak bisa dan sangat menguji kesabaran. Bagaimana? I think that is the hardest part, you know.
Harus sabar ya.
Yes.
Terus ya it's not their fault juga kan.
Iya betul.
Sometimes people need more help.
Yes, agree.
Terus selain ngajar di classroom gitu ya, jadi guru itu harus prepare gimana? What other jobs you have to do?
Jadi guru itu kalau menurut Miss Ana, apa yang Miss Ana lakukan? Jadi karena jadi guru itu sebenarnya a role model kan. Jadi sebagaimana kita tuh bisa menjadi diri kita yang lebih baik supaya orang memandang kita, oh ya, aku punya guru yang baik, aku punya guru yang bisa dibanggakan. Of course, to be a teacher you have to show a good attitude, right? So good, you know, example. Jadi setidaknya misalnya harus mempersiapkan diri to be a better person. The second one, I have to learn. You know, being a teacher is a lifelong learner.
Iya.
It is.
Kan? Pengetahuan semakin baru, semakin maju. Kalau kita nggak belajar, murid akan lebih pintar daripada kita.
Iya. Kayaknya every year curriculum always update jadi lebih susah ya.
Iya kan? Selalu. Misalnya kurikulum IB ada beberapa 3 tahun lalu, 4 tahun yang lalu kan beda dengan yang sekarang, right?
Yes.
Ya, karena science always changing.
I see.
Yeah.
So if your teacher didn't learn, and then how
Yeah.
do you teach, right?
That's true.
Di US sekarang ada banyak discourse tentang teachers being underpaid kayak gitu.
Oh
You
yeah.
have any opinion?
Oh, sebenarnya, oke, seperti yang tadi Miss Ana bilang bahwa as a teacher we have to do a multitasking job, right?
Yeah.
So sebenarnya I hope that the government and other
Policymakers.
yes, and anyone who got involved in teaching and learning should appreciate more for teacher because of we had a lot of things we have to deal with 28 students at the same time. We have to prepare everything, and of course without teacher there will be no doctor, there will be no engineer, there will be no a businessman, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they have to appreciate more.
Yeah.
Like, we are not teacher apa ya? How do I say? In bahasa bahasa Inggris I forgot how to say it. Kesejahteraan guru harus ditingkatkan. Kalau kalian tahu ada that is not only case in US but we have case also in Indonesia. Ada guru-guru honorer, they just paid for 300,000 per month.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, they have to teach. Sometimes they have to walk for miles
Yeah.
to get there. So
Yeah.
I'm so proud of them. It's really
Yeah.
Susah ya.
susah sekali.
Ya, mengajarin itu really like a job of love.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah, I feel like another important part kalau mau jadi guru itu harus ngobrol sama parents kan. Terus sometimes parents ada beda-beda lah tipenya, kayak anaknya juga ada beda-beda tipe. I know some parents ada yang susah gitu to deal with. How do you deal with? Do you deal with difficult parents? Terus like how do you deal with them?
Okay. How do I deal with parents? Sebenarnya as a teacher we have to realize that kita bekerja melayani service, kan? Kalau orang tua itu ibaratnya kalau bisnis itu berarti klien kita kan.
Iya.
Klien itu pasti ingin sesuatu hal yang membuat mereka satisfy, right? Jadi kita harus realize bahwa kita jasa melayani, kita melayani mereka, kita memberikan service yang terbaik. Jadi ketika saya Miss Ana sebagai guru berhadapan dengan orang tua, yang pertama adalah memberikan kesadaran bahwa pendidikan anak itu tidak melulu tanggung jawab guru, tetapi tanggung jawab orang tua, tanggung jawab anak sendiri, dan tanggung jawab guru di sekolah. Jadi misalnya memastikan bahwa let's work together, because this is not only my responsibility, this is also your responsibility as parent and your child responsibility, because they have to take their own education, right? Dengan begitu, dengan menyadarkan bahwa kita punya tanggung jawab sendiri-sendiri, menyelaraskan tugas guru, tugas orang tua, tugas anak sehingga bisa selaras, terus kemudian komunikasi yang baik. Biasanya ada banyak parents itu mereka sebenarnya ingin komunikasi yang intens tentang perkembangan anak.
Everyday gitu ada update.
Ya, everyday ada update. Tetapi harusnya mereka juga update ke kita.
Iya.
We did something at school, and then how did you do at home? Support them, and then we are doing collaboration. You know, jadi untuk jenis orang tua seperti itu, Miss Ana memang harus banyak komunikasi dengan mereka. Dan satu lagi, kita untuk membiasakan untuk melihat sisi baik anak tersebut. Ya, kita share, tidak cuma oke, karena anak ibu itu selalu bermasalah, then I have to call you. Sometimes we have to call them just for, you know, hey miss, just want to report that she's doing good in this.
Iya.
Right? So, yeah, that's my tip for how to deal with parents.
I really hope my mom wasn't one of the difficult parents.
Do you think lebih baik ada parent yang mau constant communication, atau ada juga some parents yang educate my kid, go gitu kan, and then they don't really want to bantu anaknya di rumah gitu kan?
Ya, kayak mengajar itu your job.
Iya, ada seperti itu. Tapi kalau menurut Miss Ana lebih baik ya kerjasama. Jangan I just trust you, you just do whatever you want. You just do. Saya taunya anak Jess juga jadi baik seperti itu. I think, you know, again,
agak susah ya.
Iya, karena harus ada kerjasama antara guru, orang tua dan murid. Gitu.
Yeah.
Terus kalau parentsnya kayak gitu ya, nggak mau bantu didik anak di rumah. Nah, how do you help the kid develop? Lebih susah pasti ya.
Lebih susah karena tidak ada feedback dari rumah dan tidak ada support dari rumah. Itu yang menurut Miss Ana tuh lebih challenging daripada orang tua yang constantly asking progression of their children.
Susah kan kalau
iya.
all the pressure is on you.
Iya, jadi memang seperti yang Miss Ana tadi katakan bahwa kerjasama antara guru, anak dan orang tua sangat penting. Kalau misalnya orang tua tidak pernah kasih feedback, terus orang tua juga tidak mendorong, tidak supportive dengan apa yang program sekolah lakukan, juga susah gitu kan. How do I help their children to improve, right? Karena setelah Miss Ana do something at school, jadi di rumah bagaimana?
Iya.
Mereka di rumah boleh nonton TV, boleh main game sepuasnya, tidak mengerjakan PR, ya kan?
Iya.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself teaching in 10 years from now?
Of course, I must be a better teacher, and I want to pursue my higher education. Yeah, postgraduate maybe.
Oh,
Very nice.
Exciting.
PhD
I'm so
candidate
excited.
amongst our.
It's very nice.
Yeah, so what's your plan for the future? Mau sekarang kan lagi ngajar math ya?
Yes.
Math di IB?
IB,
Yeah.
IB, MS, IGCSE.
Jadi kedepannya mau ngapain nih?
Kedepannya, I want to go international teacher.
Very nice. I support
Jadi
that.
dosen ya?
Dosen boleh dosen. That's good.
I support that 100%. Honestly.
Ya, karena kami bisa attest Miss Ana. Bisa
Iya,
guru
needs
bagus.
2 living testimonies.
Testimoni.
Letter of
Yeah, maybe you can
recommendation.
ask them for letter of recommendation ya.
We can write one really good one.
Kalau teaching itu ada kayak sekolah teaching nggak? Sekolah keguruan.
Sekolah guruan. Oke, untuk menjadi guru pasti kita akan punya requirement psikologi pendidikan, educational psychology, and then how do we handle with a student, class management, how to make units plan, lesson plan, etc. Yes, we have learned it.
Jadi, what's your favorite thing about teaching?
My favorite thing about teaching,
Yeah.
you know, having different story each day that I can share with my husband.
Different story atau different disaster ini?
That's true.
Yeah.
Both, I think.
Pasti do you think it would be more challenging as a doctor atau kayaknya lebih challenging sebagai guru ya?
Setiap pekerjaan pasti mempunyai challenge yang berbeda-beda. I believe that sama aja sih challengingnya.
Cool.
Tapi kan beda, itu dokter, kalau guru harus deal with a lot more people. Tapi dokter itu
Kids,
high, ya.
adults. Yeah.
Dokter itu high stress.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that I like about being a teacher, funny story every day. It must be. There must be one funny story at least. Okay, and the second one is I have a lot of holidays.
If the kids are on holiday, you also get holiday.
Yeah, how about doctor? Right? Doctor.
Iya, kalau dokter they have like 24-hour
Yeah,
shifts,
we have to be
48-hour
ready.
shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stressful job. Kayaknya if I become doctor everyday jerawatan.
Were you afraid, like, becoming a teacher?
Sorry?
Were you afraid of becoming a teacher because, like, you're changing careers? Like, you wanted to become a doctor, now you want to become a teacher, or is it something you've always been passionate in, and you were just confident in yourself?
At the beginning, yes.
Yeah.
I was not sure because of that is not my
Yeah.
my thing that I you know my job that I want to do. At least I was thinking that I can do something. I can work at hospital as something, you know, maybe a psychologist.
Yeah.
You know, like anything related to hospital, but lama kelamaan, I'm sure that I enjoy my job now.
Ya jadi dari dulu emang udah interested psychology gitu-gituan ya, related to teaching.
Yes.
Jadi how's your experience with that? How did you like discover that you like psychology? Terus tiba-tiba kok jadi teacher?
Oke. Sebenarnya balik lagi ke cerita bahwa when you apply your in the uni, you have to choice. You have some choices, right? So at that time, I have two choices. One is medical education, and then the second one is psychology. So I got accepted in psychology, so there's no choice. Because I was thinking, okay, if I couldn't be a doctor, then I still had a chance to work in hospital to be a psychologist.
That's true.
And then I also help someone to cure from mental illness or whatever. So I was thinking it's okay, psychologist is okay. So I'm taking two for, just in case. So being a psychologist, it led me to be a teacher. Like that.
Terus how's your gimana pengalaman belajar psikologi di university?
Yang bisa diterapkan sebagai guru.
What part of that experience that you really like lah? Just in general.
When I was in the uni, I was really enjoying assessing someone. Like, ada tes kepribadian. I have to ask my friend or other people to join in my what do we call a practical learning, and then I ask them and then give them like a psychology test, and then I have to assess and then make a make a conclusion.
Mhm.
Ini orang seperti apa, kepribadiannya seperti apa, seperti itu. I think that was so fun.
Iya,
like, you know,
sekarang yang most common itu Myers-Briggs test kan.
ya.
Dulu pakai itu juga atau beda, bikin sendiri tesnya?
Sebenarnya dulu kalau kuliah itu harus pakai tes yang sudah terstandar. Nanti mungkin kalau profesi sekolah lagi untuk mengambil profesi psikologi baru diizinkan untuk membuat tes yang baru, tes psikologi yang baru. Seperti itu.
That's cool ya. Terus any other cool experiences? I think you mentioned dulu pernah lihat ke tempat psychiatrist atau gimana ya?
Oh ya, iya itu sangat menarik ketika mengunjungi ke rumah sakit jiwa. Iya, jadi berkunjung ke rumah sakit jiwa, terus pada saat itu kita suruh kita bilangnya ODGJ ya.
ODGJ.
Orang dengan gangguan kejiwaan seperti itu. Mereka disuruh menggambar orang. Jadi ketika menggambar wajah tuh aneh. Kalian tahu yang Pablo Picasso ya?
Iya,
Jadi
iya.
kayak nggak
Abstrak ya.
abstrak dan misalnya matanya di sini, hidungnya di sini seperti itu. Itu yang menarik. Terus kemudian ada yang menarik lagi waktu dulu pendampingan dengan anak Down syndrome. Anak Down syndrome. Anak Down syndrome itu saya masih ingat sekali, anaknya sangat baik. Waktu itu dia sekolah di sekolah luar biasa, like special needs school. Dia dekat sekali sama Miss Ana sampai dia ingin sekali pergi ke rumah Miss Ana hanya untuk memberikan sesuatu. Ya, so sweet kan. Jadi wow, itu kenangan yang nggak pernah Miss Ana lupa.
That's so interesting.
Kayaknya so interesting ya, sampai ke rumah sakit jiwa.
Iya.
Yeah. Did you ever see yourself for a moment jadi psychiatrist gitu, kerja with people with mental illness?
For now,
Not anymore.
because I was too busy with my teacher's work.
Just aside from teaching, what do you do in your free time?
Oh, mendaki gunung.
Mendaki gunung.
Yeah. Mendaki gunung.
Interesting.
I love doing hiking.
Faith likes to go hiking sama anjing-anjingnya.
Udah pernah kan waktu ke Jogja itu?
Iya,
Ya kan?
pernah. Iya.
Pokoknya kalau pergi sampai sana akan bawa kalian selalu hiking.
Field trip ya.
Field trip. Selalu berbau hiking, harus jalan.
It's very nice. Okay. How did your tradition or culture impacted your choices?
Oke. Sebenarnya tadi Miss Ana dibesarkan di lingkungan guru ya. Jadi my family has higher expectation. Jadi pendidikan itu nomor 1. Terlepas dengan Miss Ana itu dibesarkan di lingkungan orang yang sangat Jawa, mempunyai pemikiran yang sangat memegang teguh tradisi, tetapi Miss Ana bersyukur bahwa orang-orang di sekitar Miss Ana tuh mendukung pendidikan. Jadi pendidikan itu nomor 1. Kemudian cuma pada saat itu karena pendidikan itu nomor 1, jadi pada saat itu tuh keluarganya Miss Ana tuh memandang bahwa kegiatan selain pendidikan itu tidak penting.
Worth pursuing.
Iya, itu sih yang Miss Ana dulu struggle. Kemudian keluarga Miss Ana juga menanamkan kepercayaan bahwa seorang wanita itu harus bisa berkarir, walaupun menjadi wanita karir, kamu harus juga bisa bertugas sebagai istri dan ibu.
Yeah.
Ya, harus bisa masak, harus bisa membuat masakan untuk suami, harus menghargai suami. Nah, kebetulan kalau Miss Ana jadi guru, kenapa Miss Ana jadi mikir ya, sekarang berpikir kenapa kebanyakan orang tua, mungkin tante, om, papa, mama itu banyak jadi guru karena mungkin tidak terlepas dari ajaran mereka. Ketika jadi guru itu sebagai seorang wanita kita masih banyak punya kesempatan untuk menjadi seorang ibu, seorang istri. Masih bisa seperti misalnya tadi dijelaskan, kita banyak libur, ya kan, banyak libur, jadi kita banyak meluangkan waktu untuk keluarga, masak untuk suami, beres-beres rumah.
Terus kalau pulangnya pagian ya?
Iya, pulangnya tepat waktu kan. Beda sama mungkin kalau Miss Ana jadi dokter akan ceritanya lebih beda lagi. Bahkan Miss Ana harus siap. I have to be ready for 24 hours. Kan?
Exhausting.
That's
Yes.
on call.
Iya. Mungkin itu sih kenapa banyak saudara-saudara Miss Ana yang jadi guru. Tetapi sekarang ternyata yang seumuran Miss Ana tuh ada yang jadi dokter. Iya, ada yang jadi guru dokter, ada yang pariwisata, ada yang suka mendaki juga. Jadi ternyata tuh kita pada hasil akhirnya kita menjadi diri kita sendiri. Mungkin karena berubah kebudayaan, dan saya rasa keluarga Miss Ana seiring dengan berjalannya waktu mereka they have changed their mindset.
Yeah.
Ya, karena banyak orang, banyak suami kayak rasa shameful kalau menjadi kayak house husband atau masak buat take care of children.
Iya.
Tapi it should be like cooperative.
Yes, I agree. Ya,
Iya.
Miss Ana sangat setuju dengan itu bahwa pekerjaan rumah itu tidak cuma untuk istri, kan? Suami juga we have to work together to
Equal
run.
partnership.
Iya, betul.
That's very nice.
Terus how is it growing up in a family full of teachers semua? Pasti beda ya. Do you get like parents-nya lebih membantu more
Oh ya.
with your studies? Tapi they also pasti push you more kan?
Yeah. As I mentioned before, they set a higher expectation, right? Terus mereka misalnya tidak kesusahan untuk mencari bantuan untuk tanya, resources segala macam karena semuanya ada. Dan satu lagi karena kalau masih di daerah itu guru itu kenal satu sama lain karena circle-nya kecil.
Iya.
Itu lagi gitu kan. Jadi ketika misalnya sekolah di sini and then one of my teacher they know my parent or they know my aunt.
What a small world.
Ya, terus kemudian mereka, gimana nih? Jadi, I feel like kayak diawasin.
Lucu ya.
Last
Okay.
question. Who was your favorite student, me or Faith?
That is the hardest question.
Hardest question.
Hardest question.
Were we both good students?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yes. Oh my God, the hard question. Best? Do you think it's best only one or can be 100? 100 can be 100.
Maybe multiple.
Multiple of us, sure. Audrey and Faith.
Yay!
Okay, wait, cut the cameras. Who was your favorite student in our class?
Yeah. On a more serious note, what advice would you give kalau ada yang mau jadi guru in the future?
Jadi guru itu sebenarnya tidak mudah. ada banyak yang harus disiapkan. Tetapi untuk jadi guru, you have to be, it has to be from your heart. It's a calling, you know. Like they ask, I'm not sure because of I'm thinking that maybe tadi Miss Ana sudah bilang ada guru yang rela untuk berjalan sampai berkilo-kilometer hanya untuk mengajar. Jadi kalau misalnya it's not your passion, it's not kalau kamu tidak dipanggil dia dari hati kamu untuk menjadi guru, I think it will be very hard because it should be, you know, come from your heart.
It's true.
Yeah. Terus, tiap hari, what motivates you to get out of the bed, go to school, teach the kids?
Okay, for now, I have a batch of students. They are under my advisory class, so they are so fun, very fun students. So every morning was I will meet them because of in the morning during homeroom time we were talking about everything, anything, sharing about even funny thing, like, you know, like funny things, sad things. So that is so fun, you know, like for now that is my motivation, wake up every morning to meet them, to meet my students.
Yeah,
That's nice.
that's cool.
You can really tell you love your job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what this funny thing, yesterday I was talking to boys, and then we were talking about driving license and everything, and then they said that, hey, Miss, I can drive, but you cannot because you are under 17. Okay, Miss, can you guess my age? 14. Oh my God, Miss, you said that you are my mom, but you don't know anything about your own children. I said to you before, right? Like I'm here, your mom at school. So I also told them, like, hey, if you have anything, if you have concern, talk to me because I am your mom at school. And then they said, Miss, you're a bad mom because you don't know my birthday. And then, oh my God, yes.
Of course, they expect you to memorize like 20, 30 birthdays.
Exactly. How do I memorize all of them, right?
Pretty cheat sheet on your head.
So I guess I have to put a birthday.
Yeah, birthday
Yeah.
calendar in the class. Jadi in the morning, every time ada birthday, you sing happy birthday first before the class starts.
And then they will, hey, Miss, where is my birthday gift? Yes.
Tapi for me, my birthday is 12th December, so my birthday is never at school.
Oh yeah, because it's holiday. It's Christmas holiday.
Yeah, I feel sad that my friends semua they surprise each other. Happy birthday to you gitu in school kan.
Never get
They
surprised.
they buy cake and then they
Yeah.
surprise each other at school.
Mm-hmm.
I never got that. It's okay.
It's okay.
I'll get over it eventually.
Eventually.